What's going on, Alabama fans? This is Brandon, aka Fresh, back again with another video to drop. Wonderful topic here on this one, guys. If you haven't done so already, hit the like button, smash the like button. You already know it's like a broken record, 100 out the gate. Let's go. All right, so Nick Saban has just pulled in another international recruit. And this is like, it's very fascinating to me. All right. This is very fascinating. When you think about football, especially, you know, you feel like you can't get anything better than what's on American soil, right? Like this is America's game. This is where it was, founded. This is like, we know football, right? It's like European players, getting an American. It'd be like a European university of sorts, like going across to get like an American player almost for soccer. That may not be the best comp, but that's essentially what it feels like, because we've never really seen this on a grand scale, especially not at Alabama. I can't recall outside of like getting someone from Australia for like a punter. Like you see, that's been like a thing here within like the past 5+ years at least, probably 10 years. You see a lot of punters, a lot of kickers in the SEC, all throughout college football have come from Australia or from elsewhere, not necessarily within the States. But in back-to-back classes, and this doesn't appear to be like Nick Saban's going to slow down and he's going to stop. He has gone across the water, outside of the United States, like, and when I say United States, I'm not, I'm talking about like, all 50 states, because, Hawaii is still part of the 50 states. So let's not act as if we already had that one message board. What was that? When a message board, somebody thought Hawaii or Tua was like, foreign or something like that. Anyway, and he's done this twice. Like I mentioned, Olas Alanin, and then now this kid out of Germany who, he came over here. Alabama already knew who he was, came over, was invited by Brandon Collier, who is the owner and founder of PPI Recruits. He brings these kids over, and Alabama, saw enough. He runs a 4.49 at the camp, impresses, gets offered, and then he commits. So Nick Saban, and we've seen this, since he's been there. I mean, he came in 2007 and immediately made his mark. And one of the things that he's always done is been very forward moving. He wants to be the first in terms of, whatever the new wave is. He's always had that mindset. And I think that's always been one of the things that's been very fascinating about Nick Saban. When you think about how they go about their business with, academics, nutrition, the strength and conditioning program. I never forget when I first saw the tents on the sideline. If I'm not mistaken, I'm almost 99% sure that that's a Nick Saban thing in terms of, how it was constructed to, just save time by not having to go inside the locker room. Let's go ahead and just, assess these players. If it's a small thing, if we need to go in the locker room for x-rays or whatever, but if it's a small thing, let's save time. Go ahead and do it right here. Look at him real quick. We got to do a quick patch up. And that's Nick Saban. And he does that. He makes sure that his whole team, social media, how they go about recruiting. I mean, it's all forward thinking, innovative, and it's just a sight. So he's doing the same thing with recruiting. And one of the things that I feel like, he wants to always make sure he gets an edge in every aspect of college football. All right. So if Nick Saban could easily just recruit the Southeast. He can easily stick with Louisiana, Alabama, Georgia, Florida, and the surrounding states just within this area, right? He can easily do that. There's enough talent. However, there's a Bryce Young in California. There's a Najee Harris in California. There's a Tua Tagovailoa in Hawaii. There's a Minka Fitzpatrick in New Jersey. There's a Mark Ingram in Michigan, right? There's guys that are outside of your realm who have been extremely impactful to the University of Alabama since he's been there. So yes, you can stick with where you are. But don't be afraid to go outside of the comfort zone and go reach out and potentially grab somebody who can potentially change things within your program. So is that Olas Elenin? Is that Justin Okoronkwo? Is this another player that they have in the pipeline who could potentially be the same thing? Or is it going to be a thing where it's like multiple players in the class, 2 or 3? Is this going to be 10, 15 years from now where we start to see 10 or 15 players? That's a bit of a stretch, but who knows? The world is a very large place, and there's exceptional athletes that exist outside of the United States. But what I think and what I find very fascinating about this is the fact that Nick Saban is willing to do this. Take not necessarily a major risk, but it is somewhat of a risk, because you are giving up a spot from someone who is not within the States, who may or may not necessarily, be playing the same type of competition. However, the way that you can look at it is, what's the difference between some guy who's playing at a 1A school who plays literally nobody of any, significance. There's Alabama's taking players like that throughout the years, small town, but just somebody who is just an exceptional athlete. They would have been great no matter what program that they came from, right? So it's really no different when you really think about it in the grand scheme of things. So I'm interested to see exactly how Nick Saban and how he's going to continue this, and if this is going to be something that is going to be more of a trend and not something that, Olas Elenin, he had a father that played, professional football, and then we just got a tip on this kid. Or is this, I'm constantly going to be looking at what is overseas and who are the best kids. And maybe we get somebody from China. Maybe, there's somebody from Japan, Russia, Italy, Great Britain. I mean, there's fantastic athletes all over the world. So I found this extremely fascinating. I'm going to be keeping an eye out on this one. And I want y'all's thoughts on this as well. How do y'all feel about this? What do y'all think the landscape and the trajectory is going to look like as it pertains to this in particular? Would love to know what you think about it. If you have not done so already, please make sure you hit the like button, smash the like button, run those likes up, guys. Like us on our Facebook page, follow us on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram. Make sure you subscribe to tdalabamamag.com. And I'm excited to see what y'all think. All right. Well, this is it. This is my thoughts on that. This is Brandon, aka Fresh, signing off.